Hello and welcome to yet another beautiful episode of Pet Talk with Buddha. Thank you so much for your overwhelming responses for the last two videos. We've received a lot of requests and questions. Questions, different cases. When we kind of, try to filter it out, one thing that came very prominent that lot of dog owners have this issue that they put it in a different way, but we can categorize them as the difference between the expectation and the reality when they actually get a dog. So we thought it will be a very good topic to go ahead and have an episode on that. I'm sure Buddha would be definitely delighted to speak more about it because he has gone through a lot of cases like this. But before we get to Buddha, I'm happy and honored to present one of our esteemed guests, Anoop, who's here to share his side of the version, which was his expectation versus reality of being a dog owner. So, over to you, Anoop.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. A lot of parents who would want to have a dog in their family, even we had a beautiful dream of adding a pet to our little family. I have my wife and two kids.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I thought it would be great if the kids grow up with a pet.
Wow.
And also, when we look at Instagram and Facebook, we can see a lot of videos wherein these kids grow up with pets and they become a part of the sibling gang. So obviously, we thought we will adopt a pet. And that's when we got a call from a mutual friend saying that, there is a dog up for adoption.
Wow.
And we always wanted to have a retriever. And yes, we got a field retriever as well.
Okay.
So he was just 45 days old when we met him. Obviously, very cute. So all of us had this beautiful expectation of having this beautiful little fur ball in our lives.
Absolutely.
And a little chubby baby growing with our kids.
Yeah.
So we obviously took him home, fed him, hand-fed him.
Okay.
Started making him a part of our lifestyle. And obviously he adapted to everything very quickly.
Wow.
And like how we take care of our kids, we used to pet him, put him on our laps. And that's the time when, the dog would slowly start to bite. We wouldn't say biting, it was nipping.
Yeah.
So all of us let him nip. It's okay, it's just a little baby nipping our hands and nipping and playing around with his teeth.
Okay.
So we did that, especially my wife and I, we did not take it seriously at all. What happened was, so the expectation was that the dog would grow and he would stop all the nipping and he'd just be a part of the family.
True.
What happened was, as he grew, the nipping turned into biting.
Oh.
And obviously, so he's growing up and he thought it was a part of the game. He thought we were all part of his pack and he thought it was okay to nip. Well, he used to listen to me, but he had a slight issue with my wife in terms of nipping.
Okay.
He started to play around quite a bit. It's not because of aggression.
Okay.
It is because of sheer playfulness. He started to pull her clothes. He started to pull the leash. He started to, bite her. And whenever she tries to control him, that turned out to be a slight aggression. He started to bite her more.
Oh.
So that's when we knew that, okay, it's time to have, a training.
So did it reach to that level that you had to think of training?
Yes.
Okay.
But till then we thought what training meant was sit and stay and eat and all that.
Okay,
and go for your susu and all that, your usual potty training.
Yeah.
What we did not realize that the training was far beyond that. It is not just about sitting and rolling and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously through another mutual friend, we took him to another trainer and she took him home. So she has at home, she trains the dog and that's how it is. So we went there and we actually felt bad because initially she sent us videos of my dog's name is Simba. Simba playing with her mom, and we were like, ouch. How come this does not happen in our family?
Yeah.
It's like having our child playing with some other parent.
And not
feel
with us.
and you'd feel jealous, right? Well, fast forward to 3 days, I get a call while I was driving, and she says, Anoop, are you at home? I said, no, I'm driving. Can you please park the car? I'd like to talk to you. I said,
that's good.
Okay. I parked the car and she said, can you please take Simba home? because he's getting very, very aggressive. This is the first ever experience in my life. He tried to bite me, my mother, and my sister-in-law.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't an aggressive bite. He was trying to play.
Okay.
Because we let him play, he thought it was okay to bite everyone. And that's a part of his game.
Okay.
So much that she asked me to come and take him right away. Well, I said I will, obviously. And I had to take a minute. And I was wondering what to do.
So, I'm sorry, just to clarify, this is coming from the trainer?
Yes, this is coming from a trainer.
Okay.
So I had to take a minute and I was wondering what to do. So Priyanka was with me as well. So that's when I remembered that I had another mutual friend who knew Buddha. And so I called her and I said, see, I have a situation. I cannot take my dog back home because he's slightly more aggressive now. And the trainer is not letting him being at home either. So what should I do? So she said, let me call Buddha and let me call you back.
Okay.
So another 5 minutes, she's like, okay, don't worry, take him right to Buddha. You wouldn't believe. So I drove right to that trainer's house, picked up Simba, put him in my car, drove right to Buddha.
Wow.
So
okay.
What happened was, it was only after I took him to Buddha that I realized that whatever you see on social media is not what you actually have when you have a dog. I remember coming back home quickly from my office, even after cancelling a meeting, so that I could take him maybe for a walk and do his susu potty.
Oh, okay.
Because in my mind, it was, oh, what if he goes potty inside? What if, all those things. You don't realize how much it takes, how much time you have to invest before you get a dog.
Wow.
It is exactly like having a third baby.
Yeah.
And
course.
Imagine if you have two babies, after they're 6 or 7, they would use their washroom all by themselves.
True that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even if your dog is 13 or 14, you would still have to take him or her out.
Definitely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's the lifelong commitment. That commitment, that reality hit me when I realized that you have an actual animal staying with you who is dependent on you for a lot of things. So unless you have someone at home to take care of the dog, it's going to be difficult to keep him or her.
So just to summarize this story, I would say that, as we started, the distance between your expectation and reality was a big one, if I may not.
Absolutely. And I think that's the case with most of the pet parents in the UAE.
Okay, so let's hear it from Buddha himself. So Buddha, as in, first things first, what crossed your mind when you got to know that this pet with its owner is coming to you straight from another trainer's house? What crossed your mind?
See, for me, I always, when I get these stories, a lot of people find the smile on my face. Please trust me, it's not a sarcasm. It's just that I get involved in the story so much that I already know what I am walking into.
Okay.
It doesn't matter that it's coming from another trainer's place or something. Of course, there are a lot of trainers who are doing a good job. They would have tried it their best.
I agree.
Some things, some doesn't work out. I wouldn't say I'm the most 100% successful trainer. There are a lot of other trainers, who will face the same thing. Some cases I'm not successful. Okay. So coming back to our scenario here is when Anoop got the dog to me. Number one, I don't know whether Anoop will recall, biggest problem with this breed, golden retriever. Most of the people don't know the difference between a field retriever and a golden retriever.
Okay.
90% of the retrievers which you see in UAE are field retrievers. They are not golden retrievers.
Okay, that's
That
news
was
to
my
me
first. You can Google golden retriever versus field retriever. You'll know it. That was the first discussion between me and he was like shocked. No. Okay. Then when he actually told me his story, it was very simple. He got an animal. There was a lot of love and affection given to the animal. The boundaries were not put in place, and slowly, when the animal started growing up as an animal, humans started interacting with him and feeding that behavior to him, and which reached a stage where he started kind of becoming dominant in this house. Plus they took help from some trainers and stuff, and it did not work out. That was what I was dealing with. So again, my challenge in this scenario was not Simba. My challenge was to get these two worlds to meet. Okay, that is
okay.
Anoop was in family who has a different expectations, who's
Yes.
still in that world.
In that cloud.
And then I have a Simba who's a different world, who is in his own world doing his own thing. So this both has to match. So so the entire effort was directed with that. It took a while of interaction and basically discussion. More than the training with the dog, it was a discussion and conversation between us, which helped him realize to bring that change or what is going wrong. And when he started working on that direction, first Anoop, then his wife Priyanka started slowly seeing, oh, this is what we were missing. So technically, I did not teach them anything new. They already knew. They have worked with a trainer. They know what is all these sit, stand, jump, roll over, and everything.
Yeah.
But they focused on training, not taming. They were using those techniques as circus trick. Okay, dog is there. Let me give a treat. Dog is sitting. Treat is gone. Dog is gone. So if a dog is connected to you, his bum will be automatically on the floor. He will be looking up to you.
Oh,
That
sweet.
is an obedience sit. That's where the transition happens from a circus training to an obedience-based training.
Yeah.
A puppy's brain, when they grow up, they go in two different directions. One is an explore mode, one is an engage mode.
Okay.
Explore mode is the dog is following his instincts. He's happy doing whatever he wants to do. He has very little connection and interaction with the human.
Okay.
Okay. Then you work with the animal where instead of following his instincts, he follows humans around. He becomes engaged with humans. His brain starts growing up in a way, my job is to follow the human. And when that transition happens, everything in the dog changes. You don't have to specifically train for dog for X, Y, Z. Dog will start following you. Dog will start engaging with you. He will find happiness naturally when he's following a human and doing what human wants to do. It's too simple by my saying it, but it's an actual concept where the dog is engaged with the human. His entire brain will work on responding to humans. He will actually look forward. Okay, what makes this guy happy? Let me do it.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that's a simple thing. What we need to focus on.
So is this what you wanted to do first with Simba when Simba came to you?
No, first work was to help them understand that concept because Simba was fine.
Okay. Simba
was
is fine in his own world.
Simba is fine. See, a dog does not have good or bad behavior. There's no good or bad behavior from a dog.
But then a lot of owners say that my dog doesn't behave properly.
What is behaving properly? It is behaving the way the owner wants it to.
Yeah.
That's not the dog's problem. That's the owner's problem. Right?
Okay,
So
get it.
when you bring in a dog, let him do whatever he wants to do in the house, then you expect him to behave the way you want to. On certain scenarios, won't happen. Let me give you an example. Anoop has very nice and talented kids. So very well behaved. I rarely see those things nowadays. But imagine you never taught your kids anything. Like kids are there running around the house, screaming and yelling. You let them do whatever they want. Then you want the kid to behave when a guest is coming in. Not going to happen.
Yes.
Right? That's the whole concept in a puppy training. Focus on teaching the puppy from the day one what the puppy is supposed to do. Now, difference between a human kid and a puppy training is that this happens very fast. A 10-kilo puppy will be a 30-kilo dog in another 8 months.
Oh, yes.
Right?
That's reality.
That's reality. And if, for example, I have dogs which are kind of nipping and biting the owners, it was all fun when it was a puppy. Now they are complaining because a 30-kilo dog is doing the same thing, which is causing damage and hurt and all that. Now, dog does not understand, oh, I am gone 30 kilos, now I need to behave.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't happen.
It still
This
thinks
is how
that
I
it's
used to
a
play.
cute-
This is how humans should interact with me, so I'm doing the same thing. Okay? So that is which needs to be shifted. Where from a puppy young stage, you have to guide the puppy patterns what the puppy is supposed to follow. I know it is very cute when a cute little puppy comes, jump on you, you start encouraging that, it is fine. But please understand, if you don't guide that boundary on him, when he becomes 30 kilo, he will jump the same way he's jumping.
Okay. So that was your initial step that, you spend more time with the family, I think.
Exactly, to help them understand.
The conceptual difference actually.
And
Okay.
one thing which I constantly come across is the first bite from a dog.
Okay.
Because when a dog bites and draws blood, that first incidence is very scary for a normal human being. For them, it's like their dreams getting shaken.
Oh, okay.
They are expecting this beautiful toy little thing who will spend time, spend time with kids. Like Anoop as a dad, he will freak out. Oh my God, what does he do with my kids?
Yeah, of course. That's the first thing that crosses any
And
parent's
we
mind.
need to acknowledge that as a trainer, you cannot sideline it. That's an emotion which you need to address it. He needs because from a dog's point of view, he is scanning and learning you all the time. He knows where he can push, where he needs to back off, where he needs to listen. So I always say you cannot bribe and fake a dog.
Okay.
Dog follows you, otherwise he'll lead you. It's about you. So that is the more work which has gone to it, that to understand that, bring him up into that emotional level where to address all this factor. Then the training has started happening, or teaching started happening with the dog, where the rules were put in place.
Now, when you were in front of Simba,
Yeah.
was the interaction or was the behavior different?
See, definitely it's different because the way I interacted with him is different. This is a common. I don't want to. This is a common scenario. What happened to any houses where dogs are aggressive, hyper, all these different terminologies which we kind of technically in human terms, when the dog is misbehaving, the moment I enter the house, dog starts listening to me. That's what the explain. Oh, Buddha, you're doing magic. He's listening to you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, just want to correct you that I am not doing any magic. Okay. First of all, dog is not listening to me. The moment I enter the house, my relationship is fresh with that animal. Two things. Number one, I'm telling him I'm not here to hurt you or abuse you or something. But things happen on my terms. And I give him perfect patterns to follow from the word go. The moment dog gets it, oh, I just need to do these things with the animal, with this human, I'm happy. And he starts following me. So it's just teaching the dog, this is yes, this is no. Simple.
Okay. So it's very easy when you say it. It sounds very easy,
course,
but then you being a professional, doing this for almost 20 years, it's very easy for you.
It's very instinctive for me. Now
Correct.
this is nothing since which I do. I am that. That's how I interact, and that's how immediately animal starts responding to me.
Okay, and is it also because of your looks, if I may ask? Because I've almost always seen you in the same costume. Is it like you want to scare the animal away looking the same every time? Or what's the
I don't think so.
logic?
Thanks for telling that this is scary, but fashion statement doesn't work with animals.
That's a good one.
No, see, animals are pure.
Yeah,
You're dealing with
true.
the pure force of nature. You
Yeah.
cannot manipulate them. You cannot bribe them. You cannot kind of, you have to earn their respect.
Okay.
Whatever you wear doesn't matter for them.
So I thought, it's easier for an animal to recognize, oh, this is Buddha because he's seeing him in the same costume.
He doesn't
every
care
time.
whether you're a president of the country or a sweeper of the toilet. Doesn't care. It's about how you
so
interact
sweet.
with me.
Yeah,
Is my relationship with you.
Oh, that's great. Okay. That was just a personal question in
That's okay.
between.
I commonly get that.
Yeah, that's great. So, coming back to Simba. Now, Simba was behaving very nice with you. And now that you've, coached or counseled the family, what was next? What went into the entire journey again?
So then the second part of the journey was a hard realization that at present the lifestyle which they are following with their teaching and learning and school kids at school and all that, with their busy schedule, both are hardworking people. There is very less room to handle a dog in that environment.
Oh, okay.
So then Anoop is like in the steps of getting help and everything to kind of restructure the house in such a way where they can accommodate and guide a dog in the house. So all this goes into having a pet.
Okay. Okay. So how much time did all this take? I know you've been just mentioning it within the last 5-7 minutes because we are on a show, but then I'm sure it took a while to get there.
I'll explain this to you in such a way. Your kid, no matter what the age is, if he keeps his leg on the table or starts jumping on the table, you will tell him to step down.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
A dog does not go beyond an age. Okay? One good thing about a dog is that it never questions you. it's either listens or it's not listen. It's not, oh, why are you telling me to do?
Yes.
That's part, luckily, dogs won't do. Okay?
Lucky.
But the same way, when you train an animal also, it's a constant process. You tease them, okay, fine. If they start getting kind of deviate, come back, go back to basics, get that effort and back. It's a constant process. But of course, when the dog reaches 3 years, 4 years old, then they just become part of that mold, and then it's easy.
Right. So going back to Anoop, as in, I know that this journey was, the expectation from reality was a little far away. How would you explain it now? What's the behavioral difference in Simba now?
Oh, the change is fantastic.
Wow.
And something that I've realized is you have to be the boss. The dog is not the boss. So till then, I think it goes out to every dog parent. They feel that, oh, you have to change your routine according to the dog. No. You set the routine for the dog, and the dog eventually will be a part of your pack, not the other way around. And something that I've realized is training is an ongoing process. It's not just for 1 day or 2 days.
Oh, yes.
Even if Simba is back at home, I have to constantly make sure that I have to follow whatever Buddha has told me. I cannot just let it be. So that is one huge learning that I've had, that till such time, like Buddha rightly said, maybe till he is 3 or 4, till he completely understand how it works. Even after that, I'm sure I'll have to remind him. A constant reminder of all of what he has learned is a must. But I have to admit, the chemistry has changed.
Wow.
And now it's a proper dog owner and a pet kind of a relationship. The love is still there.
Yeah.
But we know our priorities.
Yeah.
We know our boundaries. We know how to treat him. We understand that he is like our child.
Yeah.
But he's an animal as well.
Yes.
So I think that was a huge realization.
Wow.
More than the training given for Simba, I think the training was for us.
I think, this is something which Buddha always focuses on. In my personal interactions with him, he always used to say that, you are getting a dog into your life.
Yes.
You need to be trained, not
Absolutely,
the dog.
absolutely.
So I never used to understand this logic much, because I felt, you tame the animal, everything would be fine. But his logic his professional logic was very
Absolutely.
different. Listening to your side of the story, the post, the expectation versus reality, the reality. The moment you start fixing up, as you said, patterns, I think it brings a little sense of time management and discipline into the parents or the owner's life as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
so
that's
a
how
win-win,
it is.
actually.
It is a win-win. Because you ultimately, by default, have a discipline for yourself and for your dog. And like you rightly said, it is a win-win. And all thanks to Buddha.
Wow, great. Thank you so much, Anoop, for joining us.
Thank you for the
I
opportunity.
hope that I meet Simba very soon.
Yes.
Yeah? All right. The journey from expectation to reality, it's not an isolated case. It is definitely something which is going across a lot of pet owners and pet parents. I would say thanks to Anoop for sharing this experience, and obviously the professional help that he got from Buddha. Stay tuned with us. We'll be back next week with a different case which is common to you. Might be it's your own story, which we focus here on Pet Talk with Buddha. Stay tuned with a lovely relationship with your pet.